Welcome back, everyone. CoD4 action this entire weekend, and at least if you have been around for Friday and Saturday. But I think everyone have been around because we had a ton of people out there in the chat. We're back with the FPS challenge in 1337 camp. That means we're still close to Stuttgart in the lovely village or city, depending on how you see it, of Weiblingen for what is 14 teams being here in the building. I mean, not in Crossfire. We are in Crossfire, but the teams are actually around here, and they all play for a big prize pool of 3,000 euros. My name is Girona TV, and today I actually decided for a reinforcement with Slogan joining me in. Slogan, welcome.
I'm glad to be here. That's all I can say. It was a really funny story. Basically, for all of you out there, back then, I did spend an odd hour or two. It might have been something like 5,000 to 6,000 hours on Call of Duty for Pro Mod. However, I was quite young when the game came out. I'm almost 30 now, which means if you do the math, Call of Duty 4 came out on, I think, 7th of November 2007.
Yes.
Yeah, we're quite old these days. And just sort of out of lucky coincidence, I've heard of the event. Sadly, only yesterday evening. So
bit late.
I'm actually not one of those few people that sadly did not join in on Friday and Saturday. However, that means that I can sort of just have a look at how things go today, and perhaps, you know, you'll do some coaching for me in terms of what went on yesterday.
Pick up with what happened the previous days. First things that will happen today is that I couldn't figure out how to actually connect this keyboard to the PC again. We had similar yesterday, and sometimes I just like to click things, and then if things don't work, then I just complain, you know, to production.
I mean, that's the way how you do it. I don't know what. I mean, it's Bluetooth, you know. Back then in the day, if you were
right?
even to use a Bluetooth mouse, you know, people would make fun of you. You know, it's like, oh, you can't play on Bluetooth mice. It's just the delay is far too huge.
I mean, that's the reason why I still have everything at home with cables. All my mices are cabled. All my keyboards are cabled, because back in the days, everyone was like, oh, you can't do that. So you want to play, you want to play competitively, don't do anything that has Bluetooth or wireless connection whatsoever. But it doesn't matter. So I'll quickly just get us to join the list. But let's talk about the previous day. So we started Friday, right? We have two groups with 7 teams each. Group A, Group B. Yeah, very, very nice names. I mean, Group A, Group B. No one saw that one coming. And they actually just played each other. 3 rounds on Friday. We played 4 rounds on Saturday. There's always one team that obviously did not play during a round because we're 7. And in the end, we eliminated the last one. So let's maybe bring up the standings to make that a bit easier for everyone out there to follow. As obviously, I know that the chat that we had the previous days, everyone has their favorite teams. They know all the players. They sometimes even know their birthday and what they had for breakfast. So that's kind of the chat level that we're on. So I just wait till we have the standings ready, and then let's quickly go through it. Because the only difference that we played for yesterday evening in round 7 was, do you make it to the upper bracket? Which means with us being on double elimination today, there is a secondary chance, right? If you lose your first match, you go into the lower bracket, and you can still keep going. Unless you start in the lower bracket.
Yeah, and as I've heard, the matches in the lower bracket, they're actually longer. They're at Emma 15, if I'm not wrong. So they'll have to sort of take it. At least that's what I was just told by Climax. Literally 5 minutes ago.
Everything was 12 so far, but what do I know? It could be. We will have to check that. That's for sure. I would know that.
He just told me that was upper bracket is, you know, the classic MR12. You have to take it to 13 or overtime, depending on
BO5 for the final. But
I was told it was going to be MR15 for the lower bracket, as in you have to take it to 16 games. That does make it quite lengthy, but I'm really looking forward to this.
We had overtime on Friday, 2 times overtime in 1 match. And yesterday we went to at least 1 map decider actually on the stream games. It's not the same. The interesting part here in terms of the tournament is that it seems like every team can beat everyone when they have a good hour. Because we saw Vapanda yesterday. Vapanda was sitting on 4 wins, facing Trent. They were sitting on 1 win. And Vapanda so far, 4 wins out of 4 games, not lost a single map. So they go up against someone that's at the end of the ranking, and they lost the first map. And all of a sudden, that was a completely different game. And you're like, all right, so it can happen. And that's the cool thing about the tournament we have here. Like, all the players, they talked about that yesterday, they sit basically next to us. They are players above us. They play below us. Everywhere in this building. There are teams, quite a big one. That's why we will bring you the player cam once again. Don't worry about that. And sometimes they just steamroll. You know, they have a great flow, and they're shouting at each other and really pushing themselves to another limit. And that helps. And then all of a sudden, then they play a lot better than anticipated.
That's true, and that's something I actually remember from when I played in teams as well. I've only ever been to LAN once, and I think it was Insomnia 41. Yeah, that was a LAN that existed, you know, back then. And I think we finished 9th overall in the entire tournament.
Not 9 teams?
No, there were a few more teams, but let's just say they were a bit more casual. They weren't quite as try hard, and you know, 9th place is obviously, you know, you don't really take anything home with you. That's kind of sad, especially considering I slept on the ground.
I think I came in my very first LAN tournament, which wasn't even COD. I came 3rd, and 3rd got you a CPU cooler. There was a nice manga thing on it, something like that, but that's it. It was a CPU cooler. There was no money involved whatsoever, just a CPU cooler. And maybe we forgot the name. We discussed that yesterday. Kaltlichtkathode. You know, before there was LEDs.
God.
Where it was like, don't touch them if they break, that's it, and all that. So I think I got one of those as well to that CPU cooler. So basically,
one of those, you know, old school cathode ray tubes that.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's crazy. However, I think that's based to some extent. I think that was really what made Call of Duty great back in that time, because it wasn't all politics. You know, it was, you know, you give your best, you have fun. And obviously, I mean, there was prize money and all of that back then. But, you know, considering the talent players had back then, I don't really think they were valued high enough. Because let's be honest, some of these players, they went to other games and they were crazy good. You know, but back then, you know, when Pro Mod really started in 08, things weren't... You know, esports was nowhere near at the point it is today.
Of course not. I mean... I have been around for the very first Intel Friday night games and stuff like that, which obviously is very different to what we have now. I mean, this even here, we're talking about a LAN with 14 teams, right? And that's already bigger in terms of production, everything, than our top events we had back in the days. I mean, what was it? I think I saw my first one in 2003 or 4. Because 2004 was my very first TV show about gaming. So it must be around that. Maybe 2005. So that was very different. Obviously, first ESL TV show that we did in 2005, 6? Was in a basement. And you could just not see it on the camera because everything was dark around where we filmed, but it was all just packages. But they made it so dark everywhere that you couldn't tell. So that's quite different to the nice studio we have here. I mean, it's beautiful crossfire. The sun is good. Quite warm out here. There's still people shooting at each other, though, in the background. And just in case you didn't know, that is a live picture. So people are on a server, currently playing in the background, warming up against bots.
Does COD actually have decent bots these days? Because I remember back in the day, you know, there were a few servers that had bots, but let's be honest, they were really, really rubbish.
Man, they were playing like me.
Okay. Don't be so harsh on yourself. I mean, it surely was the equipment, you know.
Yeah,
definitely.
Of course.
You know, back then,
these
mice, like, you know, MX580, they just weren't good.
What?
I'm just kidding. I had that mice for, I kid you not, I think 13 years until it went out, and until I got a replacement.
I've ever used the 510 and then the 518. It's like they lasted forever.
Yeah,
basically.
I think that the right mouse button broke after 11, 12, or 13 years. Crazy. You know, back then I was, you know, a teenager playing Call of Duty. That mice, you know, got its fair amount of abuse. That has to be said. But also, you know, just trying to figure out, oh my God, have I got the newest Stevie config? And then you realise Stevie's actually playing on 65 FOV. How can people play on these sort of, you know, FOVs? But everyone's got their special key bindings, the CU fish, and all of that going on. I'm really missing that.
We saw that yesterday when someone was. We have a player, Kexler here, is playing inverted mouse. as a scope. And we saw yesterday someone that has his keyboard underneath the table.
Yeah, I used to have that as well because basically, you know, I had this tiny desk that was, let's be honest, it was sort of made for kids, you know, and kids, they're not meant to be gaming, they're meant to be, you know, doing school stuff and all of that. And then you'd have this sort of tiny drawer where you'd put your keyboard in and you'd pull it out under the table and then you'd God. And then, you know, stupidly low sense was definitely something you had to use as well.
Oh, yeah. As low as possible, and you needed a mouse pad that was basically as big as the house.
Yeah, I kid you not. I deliberately ordered a mouse pad from the UK back then. Shipping was absolutely horrendous because it was in this like tube thingy, and I think it was 150 by 90. It was ridiculously big. But that was because I was all on this, you know, Stevie trip. And then I even got the mouse that Stevie had. I'm not quite sure what mouse it was. I can't remember. The only thing I could actually remember, and I can actually remember, is he played on 0.14 in-game sense with 3600 DPI, which is crazy low. I'm talking about, you know, that's 50 plus centimeters for like a 360-degree rotation.
Since it's early morning and Sunday, I already see our cameraman throwing around tomatoes. Production, if you want to talk to me, you need to be a bit louder than that. Hi. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
okay.
great. I was waiting for standings.
I didn't hear a single thing.
Give me the server, production. Give me the server. 3. That's good. That's fine. Oh wait, we need a password first, but that's fine. Yesterday I always had to wait for players. This time they wait for me. I think that's fair. At least one game.
Yeah, every now and then you just have to spice things up. Yeah, you know, they can't just go.
Once they can wait for us. I would type. Oh wait, it's working. That is very surprising. Why is the keyboard all of a sudden working? Never mind. We'll take it.
I'm very disappointed that you didn't go for like old school passwords. You know, War 1. That's basically what everyone had back then.
No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Some players were shooting with spacebar as well. Yeah, we talked about that on Friday. Like all the weird things that people had. I mean, shooting with spacebar, at least that gives you a lot of feedback. It's like bang, bang,
yeah,
bang,
that's
bang.
true. You get quite a bit of feedback. The weirdest setup I ever saw was move forward on left click, shoot on X, jump on right mouse button, and then inverted as well. I can't remember exactly who that was, to be honest.
My hat can't even cope with that. That's so awkward. I always used voice commands to shoot a shot. Just imagine. Shoot. Deagle, shoot.
I mean, if you're a scope, it might as well work, you know? Rocking that Remington 700.
Yeah, I just want to say boom. Just sitting there and going like, boom. So, oh yeah, man, got him again. That would be great. So we are in, and unfortunately, with them giving me no standings at all, we're seeing moOse versus sniip, but don't ask me where we are right now in the bracket. We're just starting. So I will figure out in the meantime. But wait, moOse is an upper bracket. So we are in a quarterfinal, upper bracket. So because I met Climaxu just a few minutes ago, and he said that they will be upper bracket. So we should see a quarterfinal. We already have the opening site. Quite good for both teams, actually. Surprising on the battalion map. So if you wonder why this looks out of style for Counter-Strike, for God's Counter-Strike, it's both starting with C. It's not okay. That's not too bad. Climax is already out. We still got Deuce, who had a good day yesterday. Anzium took some rounds on Friday when we were watching him, but there's only tricks on the side of sniip. Nothing else. Jumps in, gets Anzium. That's a good start.
And now it's all up to Trix to turn around this 1v2.
At least he has the bomb. That's a good start for him. A seems to be quite good covered. If we quickly look at the map, yep. They're both around that, rotating, and they know where he is. So he will have to somehow fight his way out of this.
But he's been spotted now. He has to take his feet into his own hands. Goes for the fake. Actually pulls through with the plan.
Oh, that was smart. He didn't have enough time. Just not sure. I see chat says Climax would die right away, so that's not a surprise. I think he just wanted to make sure that you guys feel better when he does the comeback later on. Talking about comeback, moves tight. Actually kills him. Now, Tit, I learned.
Yeah, it is Tit.
Yeah,
He's
Tit.
an absolute legend.
Yeah,
if you mess up that name, you're
Sorry.
in deep trouble.
I learned about that on Friday. So they taken a round one on the moOse site. So even with Climax dying right away, let's go to Climax. It's his channel, so we at least should have him on camera the get-go.
See him just get naded 5 seconds into the map once
We
again.
had that yesterday when Petar was with me. Every single time he said, let's watch him, that should be a good one. That person basically died within the first 8 seconds.
That's basically the caster curse of Call of Duty.
It was really good. Climax with a wonderful wide rifle, because that's what you would bring to war, right? You want to make sure that people know that you're quite cool and you don't mind getting dirty. Very slow start to the round, but that's also the battalion map, slightly different. We have a ton of boxes around and everything to hide behind. Enzium took some shots. Oh, Climaxu finds Zeko right around the corner. Fortunately, wasn't ready for that. There we go. Paco on to Lendon. First step. Oh, that looks really good for sniip this time around.
They've got the entire setup, 2 versus 5. 3 of them just being in that A-side building. That's definitely not a spot to be in. And it's Trix that takes it to 1-1.
Yeah, I love it. Double to end his round 2. I think that will give him a bit of a boost. 3 kills already. So we quickly see the bracket. That's good. Now let's see. We are in the round of. Wait.
Winner bracket is 1.3 is what we're currently seeing. So it is basically the quarterfinal. You were alright about that one.
It's like round of 8. Yeah. Okay. We snip with moOse. There we go. And then lower, we have the default wins, obviously, because there's only 4 teams on lower. Lendon with the opening kill against Zeko, and Enzium falls up right after moOse. Tit gets another one as well, so that is a very strong start. All of a sudden for moOse. They're waking up here, kinda. Trix is in trouble. It's at least a few shots in, but Tit once again the upper hand at the end of this little skirmish. Making make sure that no one can cross his rifle that easily.
Tries to even out things, but that was a very, very dire situation he was in. And now moOse are actually headed 2-1. Perhaps chat can help me out, but I do remember that moOse was a name that was sort of big. I'm not quite sure if it's like a fun name or a team name.
It's still the same name, you mean? I mean it's Climax's team, right? But
it is his team, and you know, Climax who played for H2K back then, and Tit was on Fnatic.
Oh, H2K, man. That name comes up. We had Flipside already yesterday. We talked about that. Enzium in trouble. moOse, but he gets away. Oh, look at how they overpower them on the spot now. Everyone rotating in front of Enzium, and he doesn't even know. Oh, it was the name used before they had Orc support. All right.
Ah.
There we go.
Yeah, see, I was right about them, you know, being a... About at least, you know, moOse being a big name.
Nope. Oh, Climax is still alive. There we go. Climax is back, everyone. He is... Oh. I thought he will shoot
Just
him.
gets blocked by his own teammate right there.
I thought he'll shoot
Picks
him
up the AK, and it is Paco that does go down. And of that, he should be able to go through with the defuse. Although I'm not sure, and it is Wilk that picks the deagle to even out things.
He might should have just went through with the defuse.
Yeah, I think so too.
That would have worked out, but...
You know, that's this sort
happens.
of unwritten rule. You have to go for a fake defuse once. You can never just go for a full-on defuse.
Yeah, but you know, sometimes because everyone expects you to fake, it's just not bad. Just
yeah, that is true as well.
So, and we learned with the Infectity, du sollst dich Standard legen. So, so many things that you can pick up on. A quick start for sniip. I mean, everyone already gone on the moOse side before you can jump into this round. Someone's keyboard placement looks hella weird. Like I said, we have someone with under the desk. I think there's someone with behind the screen, which is a typical Counter-Strike thing.
Now, the typical Counter-Strike thing these days is to have the screen literally 4 inches away
but
from
then
your
you're
face.
behind with the keyboard.
Oh, that's true as well,
and
yeah.
you basically angle the keyboard like crazy to bring it in. Oh, yes, the keyboard the other way around angled.
Oh, that's spicy as well.
Oh, yeah. That is an interesting way of doing it. Oh, wait, so he has the mouse on the right side. He's not left-handed. And he has the keyboard... No.
God, that is a very, very weird setup. That's not something that I've ever seen before.
Has to be changed. What is this? Oh, you can't go up against Tit. No chance. Yeah, it is exactly like the opposite of the Counter-Strike one that we were talking about. It's quite interesting. Trix has the bomb. Can't get on spot just yet. They will move up, but there is one more player of moOse up ahead. Oh, they will get through the plant. Just go for it. Yep.
Explosives
And then they get shot.
planted.
I was waiting for the 2 moOse players that already built up around the wall. There we go. Landon. Swan gets the second with the help of Tit. And with that, they win yet another round. So a similar start as to all the matches we had yesterday. It always went 1-1, 1-1, 1-1, 1-1.
No magic sort of, you know, you're back 0-10 and then you pull through. You take out your timeout and then, you know, the coach is just, you know, boys, you've got this. Believe in yourself, and then you just make things happen.
It's like we had matches with slightly bigger comebacks, but the start was nearly always like this. Decent saying, remember I schooled you every time on this map. It's so funny to go with people through their experience from back in the days. We had someone in chat that said he always had to rush back from school because his team had 8 players, and the first 5 that made it, they played that day. And so and you had to be back on the PC early after school. Oh, there we go. Quick one for sniip. I told you, it's always like back, forth, especially on this map.
Well, then, you know, things get really, really spicy once you get into those
we had
double
teams
digits.
that all have the same jersey on their chair, and this time they all bought the same jacket nearly. Can we see their jackets again? Starting in the round, let's see what Climax is doing. Where's he sitting currently? 3 kills, or 10 kills for Tit. Really stepping up his game to keep moOse in this. So we have the opening frag with a grenade. Tit and Enzium doing a good job there. Rushing over, taking them out. Oh man, Enzium on fire. It's only Mickey and Trix now. Oh, that he gave away his position because there's someone right behind him now. Down to a 2-2. Oh, he just ran away. Oh, I guess me, but Mickey won that one against Enzium.
And now Trix going through with the plant. 1 versus 1 situation. Does have the SMG in his hands. The perfect weapon for these sort of, you know, tight fights. Climax, who hits the deagle shot through the ball, though.
I wonder, he's only quite nifty with that. But not enough this time as he rotates around. Got wide in the open. And with that, giving another round to sniip. To 3. And they obviously want to stay on this.
But you got Casticus as well, you know, said we just switch teams, whoever, you know, wins rounds. But no, it's actually 5-3 for
I mean, we now learn that you're an absolute Climaxer fanboy.
I am. I have to be honest,
so.
yeah. And I'm definitely going to take a picture with them later on.
Oh, Trix with the first one on grenade. But quick succession here in terms of the kills. But not in favor of moOse. Can Trix pick up another one?
They're just trying to rotate on towards that A bomb site with Trix, you know, just covering the enemy's team's positions. However, everyone's quite split on Team moOse right now.
Yeah, it's like they trying to set up. They will do the bomb now. So
Climax could potentially get spotted, and he does get taken down by Zeko. And with that, it is actually 6-3, 3-round lead now for Team sniip.
Yeah, this is getting out of hand now. I mean, these were 2 rounds where sniip managed to be very, very quick in terms of the opening frags, ensuring that the deficit between the player numbers is quite big after what was not even a minute, basically. And that makes it, on this map, where you can hide so much and sit behind boxes, very hard for a 2v whatever, 2v4, 2v5. Once again, they get the opening kill. Climax pays back, though. We got a 4v4 in our hands. Just don't go for a swim there, Climb. So that's not a good idea. Paco picks up Enzium.
But we do notice teams are taking it slow, and Climax, who gets taken down by the Deagle of Wilk. And now he will look for that next
the jump
very important scope.
Looked very good. I thought he will have him there, but once again, on the losing end of that. Tit fell to Paco. Paco had a very good round in this one. Got a lot of kills. On to Do's to do something, but the bomb is already out, so we'll have to move in. Oh, picks up the first one against Big.
Oh my god, can he do it?
It's only Tricks now. Can he win that? 3v1. No, we can't. I should have not said anything.
It was only 13 seconds on the clock. I mean,
yeah, but I was
time is definitely not playing in his favor.
And then he just dies. Timeout called by a moOse. They want to talk it over. Makes sense, maybe.
Makes sense. I mean, they're potentially only 6 rounds away from taking it home. And in my opinion, it's always important, if you go for a timeout, take it perhaps slightly too early instead of, we're currently 11-5 behind. Yeah, let's just go for the timeout now. That's
I mean, it's only
rather unlikely to work.
It's only 2 rounds left on this side. They could have taken the timeout on the switcheroo, but
it's true.
Yeah, they obviously want to get as many rounds as possible while being on D side, but not easy. There we go. That's Climax on the left. Oh, is that the room next to us? No, it's not. Okay. Like with the window, it looked a bit like the one right next to us. Seems like they get ready. Has he already run Red Bull in at 9 whatever in the morning? Because I thought we started at 10. That's what I said on yesterday's stream, and then Ross messaged me on Twitter and was like, "Hey, just to make sure that there's no confusion, it's actually 9." It was like, "Oh no, even earlier."
When that sort of nade change came out, when you could practice the nades, that was crazy. People came up with absolutely ridiculous nades.
Yeah,
and just the fact that
check.
Yeah, the only thing is Promoc didn't have cook nades. At least it only had cook nades for like a few patches. I think back in it was already 09 when cook nades were no longer a thing. Thank God, to be honest, because they were absolutely ridiculous.
I always loved that. Had to have very good timing for that. So we see Landon, the SMG player. Day 1, moOse was a bit struggling. Yesterday was a way better day for them. I think they picked up 2 wins in the end on Saturday, 1 win on Friday. Climaxu with the kill as well. So to answer.
However, both teams, they are taking it very, very slowly. But as we've mentioned, this battalion map is...
Oh
my god, that deagle shot right there from Paco was crazy good, but then Landon takes them out as well.
Yeah, Landon was not okay with him being a deagle hero here. Wanted to stop him right there. But that deagle shot, that was very good to look at.
3 versus 2 situation, and he's just trying to take his time before he moves on to that B-bomb side, but Mickey actually the one to take both of them out. And with that, it is 8-3 for Team sniip.
Last round of this half. Will we see a chance for moOse to come back? Is this a tech-sided map? That's the big question. I don't know, to be honest. We discussed that yesterday, but I don't know if we ever got any results. This is D or A-sided.
sniip going for that full A push, though. And Trix, just trying to pick up those players that do actually move to that B bomb site.
Yaroslav said it should be mostly attack-sided. Lennon picks up another one. So that would mean moOse might have a chance to get back. On the other hand, if they win this, it's a 9-3, which is very hard to come back from.
And that would be absolutely massive. It is up to Team moOse to pick things up now. Climax with the Deagle Call 4 versus 2 situation. This should, you know, surely be a round that they are going to pick up.
Wilk in a trouble once again. The scope. Get the bait. Oh, he gets it on Deuce. 1 versus 3. As his teammate died. Right at that moment where he picked up the kill. Misses the first one. Misses the second one. And there's no third one as Climax who ends that chance. Ends 8-4.
A very, very important round for Team moOse. They really have to start, you know, moving and picking up those rounds. 8-4. I mean, a 4-round deficit is not, you know, massive. Things are still
Well, you saw how close it was
doable, but yeah, if one does keep that in mind,
like,
then
even if
things are not going to get easier.
Back forth, it's just they're very closely to 12 right away, and then that means they have to go overtime at least. Or we just doing a little bit of sightseeing here. Onto the different spots. Look at how many boxes there are you can hide behind. That van.
But did Battalion always... Is this map sort of modified, or is it exactly how it is in Battalion? Because
I was wondering, this
I'm
van
not quite
looks
sure
like
if the trucks, you know, even belong...
Yeah, because
that does not look like a 1940s, 1930s truck.
From Call of Duty.
Yeah, I
mean,
think
there's
so
a
too,
car
because
as
it looks
well.
like the truck on Crash, for instance.
Look at the car as well. I don't know, to be honest. Yaroslav says it's exactly the same as on Battalion.
Oh, okay, very interesting.
Okay.
Oh, that was a cheeky smoke he threw out right there. Kind of looked like he had mouse acceleration on as well. Tid with the first frag onto Paco.
And now we see how strong that attack side is. Can moOse take the first round right away? They at least get the plan done. It's a good start. Oh.
Oh, he does actually...
Is that allowed?
That's a cheat. No, obviously it is.
No. We discussed that before, and it was like, you're not allowed to go somewhere where you can't go on your own. But I think you can go on your own up there from the other side. So, does that count? Because we really discussed that. Nice turnaround, killed him. And with that, sniip is winning the first round.
Explosives diffused.
And that just feels terrible. I mean, they had the opening frag onto Paco, and then just to go down in such a, let's just say, timely manner is definitely not what they had in
we
mind.
discussed, you know, those typical glitch positions, being on top of something, like on the door, city streets and stuff like that. And was like, no, everything's allowed and not glitch using if you can get there on your own. So...
But that sort of, you know, includes almost everything, I reckon. Mickey could move down toward Doze now, but he does go down. 4 versus 2 situation. Surely this is a round that moOse actually pick up. sniip trying to move in onto that bomb side, gets taken down by Climax. So now it is only Paco. Paco, that can perfect.
Yep, switching to him, gets killed right away by Lendon. Lendon should have a good match so far.
Kind of
8
unspectacular.
kills only. Oh, what's happening there? Tit on 12, 14 for Trix. And Zako as well with 13. That's looking good for them. And so far, that was a round win for moOse, so they at least somehow stay in this.
Paco actually going very, very deep, almost a rush in terms of like the tactic he's going for right now.
Trix with that opening nade. Oh, very good start for them. It's only Climax who now left. Setso Wilk decided to make that a full statement. And it's a 5-10 now for sniip. The team that I think won their group. Did sniip win it in the end?
If you mess it up now, I'm sure the chat will do us justice
Yeah,
and
they can
just
see
tell
the
us what
bracket right
happened.
now. I can't. So. But production confirms, yeah, Snip won. Not the round. I want to know if Snip won the group. Yeah, okay, they won the group.
Tid does find the frag onto Paco. Tid really the one, you know, to keep moOse in arm's length.
Oh, good start this time around. Only Trix. And Trix is in trouble. Gets one, but not the second one. As Du's followed up. I like that when there's good coverage by your teammates and you know that even if you die, they get the best. They will get the player who killed you. So that really helps. We had that yesterday. Vapanda is one of those teams really making sure that they have a great coverage of each other. It's awesome to see. Tix, the other one is Slogan, actually. Picked him up like a girl on Twitter.
Far too easy, you reckon?
Far
Okay,
too
let's
easy.
just keep that in mind. Anyway, 4 versus 2 situation, 1 versus 4, and that would be massive. That would basically mean that they'd only be a single point away from match point.
No, it's like they would be a single point away from at least getting forcing the overtime, but that's basically it.
Yeah, let's just say it's rather difficult to pick up a win from that sort of point onwards.
And they come for another round. I looked at Tid and I thought, like, if I now switch to his camera, that looks really good because he runs at the camera and then switch to him and then he gets killed right away. Oh my goodness me.
2 people go down though, and Zico and Paco actually survive their tags. They're only being tagged so far. 4 versus 2 situation.
And Zim tries to move in fast now.
It is all in the hands of Anzium and Climaxu to pick this round up. Anzium getting tagged very, very heavily. I'm not quite sure if he can go through.
They don't have a lot of control over that bomb site that they would like to use. And Climax's angle is not perfect. Oh, they don't want to as they wait for them to move in. So they do, and it works out. At least some Enzium. So last man standing then is Climaxu. Set that while he dies 6-12.
And now Snip are potentially only a single round away from taking the win and map 1.
Oh look, we have Peta on camera. There's that lovely dude on the left. Playing for German Powerhouse. He's normally casting in slippers. That's what he does. Oh, that grenade, Enzium. Gets rid of the scope. It's big. It's really helping. But all of a sudden, they fall apart. It was quite quick there. Trix just went in it. Being the party crasher, basically. moOse has to stay alive. I say that while Climaxu gets taken out. The first one for Enzium, second for Paco, though. And with that, map number 1 goes in favor of Snip. Quite a quick one, this was. It is still a best of 3, so there's another map where they have a chance, obviously. I don't know which map we're going to. Washed Sweets.
But Trix definitely coming in huge in that map.
Where are we going? Where the hell are we now?
That map is... God, I should definitely know this. Backlot.
That's
is it? No, that's not Backlot. That's a completely different map.
That is not a map of Call of Duty. Is that?
You know, this sort of I have no memory of this place meme. This is definitely what's kicking in for me right now.
Real quick, production. Can we see where we are? As we're trying to figure out where we are. What the hell is this?
Maybe this. I was told we'd have 2 maps that we're not in you know, the original Call of Duty 4 plus 1.6 patch. Crossfire.
Nah, it's not Crossfire, man. I thought you were the big Call of Duty guy. I can tell you that it's not Crossfire, man. Cluster.
Yeah, and Cluster was the other map that was not in the original.
It's actually a map I have not seen in the tournament once yet. So that will be very interesting. So, but what? That's one of the spawns.
But it does sort of give off...
It is like Crossfire, but another part of the
Yeah,
city.
Crossfire and Backlot combined, perhaps.
Ah, you thought the background. Yeah, the background is Crossfire, obviously. We know so much.
We're absolute experts, as you can see.
Yeah, Crossfire. But you going for Crossfire, Sloan. That is a big
I didn't
minus
go
on
for
your
Crossfire. I
resume.
went for Backlot.
Yeah, that's even worse, man. That's even worse.
Yeah.
I will write that down.
I have to be honest about that
I will write
one.
that on your performance review for this tournament. So this is cluster, as we now learned. It will be very hard for me to actually find the bomb sites. There's one, and the other one is this open construction site thingy, which is somewhere here, I think. Or maybe not.
But this does seem like a map where you definitely go for the for the scope. Because on some maps,
quite a long distance.
I personally, you know, back then we quite often went for three AKs and then 2 SMGs.
It's quite far away from bomb squad to bomb squad.
That is true, yeah.
Like going here, then you have to go there, and then there you are. Is there? It's not a lot of height differences, is there? You know, high ground.
That's true, yeah.
The thing that Anakin Skywalker really hates. Does it exist here? Don't know. I don't think so.
But I'm not quite sure because is it strike? Because like the bulldoze and some of the elements, they really look like. I think it is strike.
So there's a bomb spot, and
the one where you need
there's the other
250 or 333 FPS to make some of the jumps.
I don't think that there's a lot of high ground.
I don't think so either, to be honest.
So I think these buildings are not meant to. Oh wait, there's an open building. Can you actually go in this? Yes. Maybe no.
And that I can guarantee you that building right there is 100% crossfire. Because you can actually, in like the normal Call of Duty, if you go for 333 FPS and do like a rocket jump, you can actually get onto the top of that building.
Yeah, but why should they put a crossfire building in a battalion?
I mean, I'm not sure.
It is a battalion map, right?
No.
No, cluster isn't.
Oh, cluster is an actual. It's custom. The way I've been told.
Okay, that's different then. Interesting. I wonder who has chosen it. I'll quickly look it up if I can see which team decided that cluster is what they want to play.
Yeah, I think we could perhaps have another look at the standings. Now that we've so basically, Team sniip, they're going to move into the winner bracket semi-finals, and moOse should theoretically. I'm not quite sure.
You're quite harsh. That was map 1, and you're already saying sniip is
oh,
basically
sorry, yeah, God. No, but lower bracket, we're only playing one map, right?
No, they must play best of 3. You want to tell me that lower bracket is playing BO1?
I'm not quite sure, to be honest.
I don't think so.
Okay, guys, I messed up. Everything's still possible. I mean I was a bit harsh right there, especially as a Climaxu fanboy, you know.
Yes, that was a bit rough, I would say.
And to this day, I'm still a massive CoD4 Pro Mod Frag movie enjoyer. I spent years to this day creating an entire
I can understand
collection of the greatest Call of Duty 4 Pro Mod Frag movie songs.
I mean, I understand that it takes ages for you to get a kill movie of your kills, because that's basically like 15 years to get like a 2-minute video together, but why can I not see the actual, how to even see the tournament tree? Can't. What to click on the website? Ah, okay, just so it's a different website, so I'll get a link, that's good. MP Dawnmill. Oh my goodness me. BO1 Emma15 is the lower bracket. Oh, wow, okay, that's a lot of pressure.
I'm not quite sure how the map was called, but there was one map at the sort of, beginning of Pro Mod, 08, 09, that was still played competitively. But I can't remember how it was called. The one with like loads of sheds and loads of like containers. Scopes really didn't make too much sense
like
on
a
that
Rainbow
map.
Six
It
map.
was Vacant? Yeah, I think Vacant could very well be true. You know the one, and it is also in quite a few frag movies.
So by the way, whoever wins here faces the winner of Quetz or SK. So I'm bold here. I say Quetz is winning that. And then on top it's Kollega versus Trent and Vapanda versus TLR. Kollega beats Trent, that's my prediction.
Yeah.
And Vapanda beats TLR. And then they would all face whoever's coming down the next round.
Is TLR an abbreviation of the last resort?
Because no, the last ride.
The last ride. Because I do remember that there was actually a pro team back then called TLR, if I'm not wrong. Oh, and actually Climax with the double frag does get the smoke down as well as the nade core explosion. 4 versus 2 situation.
Oh,
picks up the kill onto Zeko as well. 3 kills for Climax in this first round.
I loved how he walked straight into that crosshair there. It's just Mickey on the other side. And they do keep the dream alive for now, at least. One round one.
Perhaps they just didn't like that battalion map. I mean, could be. Could definitely be true.
Maybe they always said, like, not playing on this, not Call of Duty.
That map is really, really weird because you know, Spawn also kind of looks like Strike in my opinion. Oh, and you can also do the also move up to. I'm not even sure how we used to call it back then. He gets taken down by Anzium though. Ted also went down early on, and our Trick's just trying to find those picks with the AK in his hands.
Yeah, Trick's obviously a lot of impact on the previous map. Oh, it's 3 kills for Climax soon, round 1. Quite crazy. And Zium finds Paco. Down to 3v4 now. Can Climax pick up another one? And he does so. And Wilk gets out the other scope.
And that was it. I think he just wallbanged him right through the crates. I'm not quite sure how we used to call them.
Explosives
2-0 then for moOse. They just want to do payback now because he said that sniip moves on. I mean, whoever loses this one faces German Powerhouse.
Who's actually? Do you know who's in? Are there like players I should definitely know that are in German Powerhouse?
Pedder, obviously on the scope.
Okay, yeah.
Who else was in German Powerhouse?
No one from MTW, perhaps.
Oh, you're asking way too much for me. I'm old, man. Keep that in mind. Be happy that I still know how this game's called.
Mickey gets tagged. Tid just throwing down that smoke. Perhaps baiting someone to move into it. This part of the building as well is 100% strike. Oh, Tid just trying to find those picks, and he does. Oh my god, he tags him heavily. Trying to make things happen, pulls out the deagle. 3 versus 1 situation. Oh, that was a cheeky move. And now it is actually a 2 versus 1. Bomb hasn't gone down so far. Trix will have to move up for that one. Gets tagged, finds Climax 1 versus 1. This would be absolutely unbelievable if he were to actually make the 1 versus 3 situation happen. Doe's trying to find him. Plant goes through. Has the deagle in his hands, but he does get taken out by the deagle of Doe's. And with that, it is actually Team moOse that pick up the first 3 rounds of our second map cluster.
Yeah, did it really well here. I mean, compared to the start of what we had on the previous map, when we visited the Coastal, this is a lot better for moOse, but they're also trailing by 1 map already. So they would just send them into a decider. This map is cluster, as we learned. Matt, welcome to the stream.
Climax with the headshot onto Zeko. That surely must be his, I don't know, 7th Or even 8th frag
It's 8th, yeah.
so far.
Climaxu on fire right now. Oh. As Tit picks up Paco, but immediately traded. Oh, it was a bit too late there to jump to Tit, who lost it. Oh, Trick still, he's so strong, mate.
Oh, Climaxu, can he make it happen? But no, he actually gets killed by his own teammate right there.
No.
Explosives.
At least the final shot came through.
I don't think so. I think it was Mickey and Trix who did the kills.
I'm quite confident it said you got killed by a teammate right
Really?
there. Yeah. Oh,
We need a
Doze is
replay.
definitely not in an easy spot. Mickey ready, moving up. Doze gets heavily tagged, and in the end it is Wilk. That will take him down.
Yeah, finally, round 4, the first one that sniip can win here on the tech side. And don't ask me if this is an attack or defender map, because we did not even knew that this map existed before going into it. So absolutely no clue.
sniip taking things. Oh, they're slowly as well now, though. Both teams just trying to fight those single picks. And actually 2 players of sniip go down. Now Paco could potentially find his next target, and he does find Tid. Dies to the AK of Anzium, though. I know it is Trix and Wilk that have to turn things around. Trix already with the kill onto London.
Hey, Sightblind, welcome. Yeah, it's like Enzim could obviously be the deciding factor. He's really good. Climax, who picks up the scope on the other side, leaves only Trix once again. I mean, Trix, for real, he's carrying hard every single time. He has to do like a 3v1 whatsoever.
He had
First, he has to pick
21
up the bomb.
frags on the first map. That is absolutely unbelievable. He's averaging what, you know, 0.5 frags around.
Needs to get that bomb first. We can do anything.
18 seconds on the clock. That's not a lot of time left to move up, but he does know that he does have quite a difficult job ahead of him.
Once, but he would have made it onto it. But first wants to get rid of Anzium, does so. But now everyone knows where he is.
Oh, I'm not sure. That could potentially actually go through. He doesn't do it, but he does take out Climaxu.
Why did he not went for the...
It was really, really close. I think he started up 4.9, perhaps 4.8 seconds. But I'm not quite sure. Sadly, we don't have instant replays, because that would have definitely been something that I'd have had another look at.
I think it would have worked. I'm quite certain.
Close, yeah, I think so too. But we get 2 nade frags by moOse. Wilk just trying to find those shots. Anzium takes out Mickey as well.
I think moOse really took sniip to a map that they can't handle. It's incredible. It's only Wilk now. Everyone else already out. And just with a scope versus 5, that will be quite a mountain.
Definitely something that would be frag movie worth it, let's put it that way. But he does get taken down by the Deagle of Lando in the end. Or Landon, as I perhaps should say.
Yeah, Lando Calrissian not playing.
But
quite busy with smuggling, you know.
sniip looked crazy strong on map 1. I mean, they had a massive lead rather early on, and now they're basically just falling apart. And I'd really be interested to see if they can pick up things again.
Scorpion
However,
says though it's a depth-sided map, easy win. Is it? Is it that much depth-sided?
And just as I've said it, they get absolutely caster-cursed. 1 versus 5, London versus the entirety of sniip. Sees a person moving through. He's trying to make things happen. Tags one, tags another. Oh, he pulls out the deagle. Lovely shot by him right there. 1 versus 3 situation. It is still a really big task that I had ahead of him. Let's put it that way. I got hyped right there. I couldn't help it.
That's fine. What's the end of it though? Quite fast. 2-5. With sniip finally picking up another round here. They could still go even on this side. All those poor cars get blasted every single time.
Tid moving in. He finds him, but he does get taken down. Packer with a cheeky prone. And now it actually evens out the playing fields, 2 versus 2. Packer gets found by Landon though, and in the end it is Landon that takes out both of the remaining sniip players, 6 versus 2. And with that, we've only got 4 rounds remaining until we switch sides.
Yeah, Landon did a good job the last 3 rounds, I would say. Really picking up in terms of kills. Tricks leading with 10 kills, and then we got Anzium, Climaxu on 10 for the other side. Well, I said Landon coming in now really hot.
Tid actually the one, however. He's only 2 and 7 right now. Perhaps this map isn't quite to his fanatic taste.
Tid picks up 1 just to prove you're wrong.
A classic. Wilk does find London right there. Tid takes out his next target as well. 4 versus 1 situation with the scope in his hands. And Climaxu with the M40A3 takes down Wilk. And that is a 7-2 lead for moOse.
Yeah, but it's still not over on this side. And they want, if this is really decided, and they want to take as many rounds as possible to somehow get us to a decider map. Let's watch Landon a bit. He gets at least attacked with a grenade, but not a kill. Quite slow now all of a sudden again. See what Trix does. Try to move forward. That's a grenade direction of A. Not find a target though. Oh, they all rotate nicely into it now.
Anzium and London take down
chance.
2 players of sniip as well. 1 versus 4. Trix has shown us that he's an absolute monster when it comes to these clutch situations. Picks up 2 kills.
Really pick them up? I mean, he saw them for ages, and he walked in there like he did not realize that these are not teammates. But then picking up 2 kills.
Mistakes happen, but now it is all up to Trix to make things happen. Finds the tag. Oh, but it is Toes that takes down Trix, and Trix not able to make that 1v4 miracle play happen.
Well, I loved it. He saw the first one. Oh, he's not looking at me. I will just keep walking. Then he walks into the bomb side, sees him laying on the ground, and still keeps walking at him. And then picks up both. I mean, that was absolutely incredible. No opening cracks with spawn nates. But Climax might be able to pick something up. Scorpion says a lot of room to move there for the attackers. And that's why they have to play slow in mid. Figure out what's going on then. This time around they're doing a good job though. Climaxu, last man standing. Not for long though, as Zeko picks up the last 2 kills of the round. Brings us up to 3-8 with just 1 more round on the strong D side for moOse. Is that enough? Is 8 enough to keep sniip at bay and get us to map 3? Or can sniip turn that around fully when being on defense?
Trix is moving up onto that B side, gets a tag onto Doze. Unable to take him down, however. And now it is once again Landon. That's trying to make things happen. Paco takes him out, however. And now it is a 2 versus 5 situation. Anzium gets taken down as well. That is Definitely a very, very big task that he's got ahead of him. And in the end, it is Paku that takes another round off the hands of Team moOse.
Yeah, 4-8. That's the end of our first half. Which means we will now see moOse in attack and Climaxu. He's still in a good mood, of course, with 8 rounds won. But we also know how easy that can now swing around. As sniip had a good run on the previous map. Coastal went in their favor. They are up 1-0 in terms of map score. Everyone, that is the room next to us. So sniip is playing right on our left, basically. And then moOse further down in the building. The team behind sniip is normally Kvetz, but they're currently not sitting at their PCs.
I'm slightly surprised that no one's actually playing in a 4:3 aspect ratio, because that back then was like a large thing.
What, 4:3 you mean?
Yeah, even I played on 4:3 aspect ratio on Call of Duty for quite a lengthy time.
Monitors were 43 by then.
Yeah, until you could get like the first 120 hertz monitors, and they were an absolute game changer. You know, back then people would, before the 120 hertz monitors would exist, people would go for the 75, you know, because it was better than the 60.
Yeah, I had 75 still for my sim rate, but I didn't even knew that there was 120s back then. I did not.
I had one of the very, very first 120 hertz monitors that you could buy, yeah.
Wow.
And I think that was in, I'd have to think about it, 2009, 2010. It was a ViewSonic. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah,
it definitely was a ViewSonic. Okay, this is going to be quite fanboy-y, but I spent far too much time trying to figure out on what monitor Stevie was playing. Because I wanted the Stevie setup, you know. It was definitely, that was, you know, keeping me away from being an absolute pro. And then I got the Fnatic Quick Plus mouse pad, the XL. You know, I got the. He had a really, really weird mouse because it was ancient as well. I'm not quite sure what it was. And he was, you know, playing on crazy high DPI, 3600 DPI, just to turn down his in-game sense to 0.14. And I think it was a 226p, I think how the monitor was called. I think it was a Samsung. And you know, that was already a massive upgrade. You know, that was before I had the 120 hertz monitor, just because I can have the 75. And I even got, what sort of graphics card did I get back then? I think it was a GTX 9800 plus. And it was like I was literally, my pockets were bleeding. I was absolutely broke. But then I had 50 FPS when I was in a smoke, and that was an absolute game changer, you know, because back then you could have 1 billion FPS the second you move in on a smoke. That was just it, you know. Your frames, they go down, and you're like, this doesn't feel too great. However, I did actually play. I got to Academy playing on 60 plus ping, because we had 2 megabyte internet back then, and I couldn't convince my mum to you know, invest the extra money because she was. And then you're going to spend even more time playing those stupid video games.
No, less, because I don't take that much time anymore. It's quicker.
Yeah,
that was your chance, man.
That's true. I never pulled that move. Perhaps I should have done that.
You see, I got you covered there. Man, I did not even use GeForce graphics card back then because the thing, I was on a Radeon hype back in the days.
They were definitely better money.
Yeah, 9800 Radeon, stuff like that. I still have that graphics card, by the way. I just found it.
Oh, and afterwards, I think that was in 2010 or 2011, I went for a GTX 560, and that was such a massive step up. It felt absolutely crazy because then you could, you know, record your your recordings. You just slash record. I'm not even sure how you call them, but then you could use movie configs, And movie configs, you know, just trying to get that Mazzarini movie config, just trying to perfect that light. So my kind of rather rubbish 1v3 looks even slightly, you know,
Well, I actually get
better than it used to.
25 FPS. I was like, whoa, I'm a pro player now. Oh, man.
That is true. That is so true.
Oh.
However, it is sniip that are picking up 2 easy kills at the start of the round, and now we'll get some information on whether this map is actually quite defense heavy or not. Mickey takes out Landon as well. Anzium with the return frag onto Mickey. And Tid finds another one as well. 2 versus 3 situation. Bomb plant goes through. And Trix finds Anzium. And with that, it is all up for Tid to make things happen.
Tid moving around. Oh, yeah. My headshot at that. Can't get it done. Man, you guys talking about 125 FPS. I had a Reva 120. So Reva 100.
I had one of the very, very first quad cores.
That was a 3D car that actually came. Reva 128. It came with 3D glasses. Yeah. You know, shutter glasses.
I had those red and blue 3D glasses actually when I got, because, you know, 120 hertz monitors back then, they weren't marketed as, you know, the next big thing in gaming. It was just like, then you've got 60 for each eye and then you can play 60 FPS in actual 3D. And I kid you not, I used those red and blue glasses and this, like, I don't know, ViewSonic program, I don't know, it was NVIDIA actually, to play Call of Duty in 3D. It felt kind of rubbish. It felt really, really disappointing.
I'll get one by Landon. The SMG across the distance here. Is there a chance for moOse to immediately answer here and say like, that might be a defense site map, but we still got this under control.
Wilk gets tagged heavily by the scope of Climaxio, however, he is able to recover. And now Mickey just trying to make sure that things don't go quite through. As Anzium takes down Wilk and Mickey. And now Trix is the one that has to make things happen, gets tagged heavily, tries to make things happen, but in the end it is Tid that takes them down. 9-5 for Team moOse.
That was important for moOse now, to immediately answer to that and not be like, oh yeah, it's now D side and we lose the first 5 rounds or whatever. So they can be happy with that, one step closer to bringing us to a decider map, rather than dropping into the loser bracket right away. With that grenade helping out. Landon already gone as well on the moOse site. Picks up one, Packer picks up Tid. Good morning, party people. Steve is in.
2 versus 4. 2 versus 3, in fact, actually, now. However, they are just playing it very, very carefully. They realize, okay, we don't have to plan. We've got plenty of time to spare as Doze gets tagged.
As Enzium has a chance to move in, but he's now also the only one to do anything. But he has the bomb, and that's the important factor. Pretty sure he could get an actual planned in, but decides to be more aggressive, and that does not pay off. It's 9-6 now.
I always thought that was really, really annoying back then, that those tiny concrete slabs are just absolutely bulletproof. Felt...
Well, nothing else is.
Yeah, well, literally nothing else. You can be, I don't know, behind, I don't know, 20 inches of steel concrete and you'd be, you know, just taken down by a single scope shot.
Well, Maxu got the kill via the grenade, and Mickey pays that back with a double on a grenade. Oh, very aggressive here by sniip. Look at that. Rushed in. And moOse was not prepared for that.
However, it really is the SMG players that are turning around these rounds. Both Paco and Trix coming in huge again once again for sniip. And now Doze has to find the next target. However, it is Mickey that takes them down. Wilk helping out with the deal as well.
There's the chance now. sniip is in distance now to grab at least a tie. Which is what we learned yesterday, by the way, that GeForce is calling it tie and not TI. Something that really freaks me out since yesterday. Because now I'll wait for the GeForce 4090 TIE Fighter Edition. Man, that would be my dream. Alright. Back to the match on hand.
As Landon gets taken down by Zeko. Just trying to throw down that smoke. Paco also finds the deagle onto Doze. Tid with the return frag, however, 4 versus 2 situation now. As Tid makes another deagle shot, but it is Wilk with the scope that will take down Tid. And so far, we do have to say this map does look kind of defense-based.
All of a sudden, all that gap that moOse was creating to actually be in the lead is already gone. I mean, 9-8. Could this be a 2-0 still? Climaxo nearly died, but survived at least the first one. Doze does not. Pricks, obviously. Someone that sits on 18 kills by now. It's just, everything is so far apart. As Matt already pointed out, it's like, it's a bit weird.
As Mickey moves up, 4 versus 3 situation. This would be a very, very important round for Team moOse to take back home. However, Anzium gets taken down. Now Mickey's just trying to find the next target. As London does take him down. 2 versus 3 situation. However, the bomb's already gone down. 30 seconds remaining. Oh, Tricks.
Oh, yeah, he saw him. He saw him.
He finds Landon. 2 versus 2. Throws down the smoke, and immediately we just hear those scope shots rattling down. He gets tagged very, very heavily. He tags another player as well. I'm not even quite sure who that even was. And now Trix has to go through, but Climax with the all-important scope shot.
Yeah, I think he moved around on the backside of the building. Is that possible? I think they can move behind it. I would fly there and tell you, but first have to find it again. Wait, let's quickly check. Can they go behind that? Oh, yeah, I think it was Climaxo who moved around here. And then moved back in. Oh, gets London right away. Enzium tries to move around the gas station. That did not work.
Oh, Climax does find the shot on towards Zeka right there. He is definitely popping off.
17 kills.
And now Team moOse just slowly moving in on towards those bomb sites.
It's a very interesting grenade. Through there, underneath the vent. Let's see. 3v3. Very slow mid-round now. They managed to get onto A. And Climax once again having that same spot.
Planted.
Now he knows there could be someone coming around. Climax is ready. Mickey gets tit though. Still a 2v3 and 23 seconds. Oh, Climax picks up Mickey. That's strong now. It's only Wilk.
Oh, Milk finds Climaxu though, and now he's just trying to go for those no scopes.
And then he killed himself.
He just didn't believe in himself. You know, sometimes that's all right.
Kind of sad.
However, it is 11-8 for Team moOse. They're only 2 round wins away from taking it to the all-important third map.
Yeah, they're doing a bit better, I feel, on attack than Step was doing. So definitely this map is in their favor. But if it's enough, that's still a big question. Landon taken out by Wilk, and they already lost Climaxu. but a great round last time around.
They've
Dude's also gone. Yeah, sniip is back all of a sudden.
perfect start for them. Zeko goes down in the hands of Anzium though. And now he's just trying to find...
Did Anzium just take out 2 people? Oh no,
No, he didn't. He very, very heavily tagged him.
Yeah, and another one, but he does not get the kills. And that's the important part. Like, they want to pressure now. They want
However,
to
he
have
could
A.
be cornered from behind now. He has to be very, very careful. As Paco manages to get both of them. And they take it
All right.
to another round.
Yeah, they deny the 12. That's important. Making sure that they don't have to go overtime if they get on a roll. But on the other hand, even by now, they would look at what? 4 rounds in a row, which we didn't had so far. I think not even moOse when they started on defense side, where they were really strong. I think they managed 3.
Yeah, they managed 3 rounds until sniip picked up the first round.
Yeah. So I'm not quite sure they're close enough. Not with that way, at least. Tit gets Paco. With that was the opening frag. For a very important round for moOse. So they want to get that 12 up there. Forward Enzium once again. Very good. Enzium sitting on 20 kills.
3 versus 3 situation. However, Doze is the one to take out the first target, and Trix manages to even the playing fields, and now it is, in fact, 1 versus 2. Climax, who has to make sure he really, really picks up this round, because otherwise we could potentially easily have an overtime.
He gets Mickey. I mean, it's his channel, his round, maybe. Who knows if that's how it works, but against Trix, that's basically the hardest opponent on the other side.
Oh, and it is Climax with the 1v2, absolutely massive as he smiles in towards the camera with a rather big FU on his knuckles right there.
That is crazy. I did not expect them taking
that. Was massive. That was absolutely massive. And all important because now
really good.
They're in match point. Whilst Team sniip would have to pick up 3 rounds in a row.
Yeah, that's all that's available to them. Tit luckily back in business. Ooh, Zeko went around the outside. What's Tomax doing?
Scope shots rattling down, however, no one gets taken down so far. 3 versus 4 situation.
Yeah, they managed on that side around the gas station. They managed Paco. They also get Zeko. That's good by London because Zeko took out Tide early on.
And once again, they turn things around. However, it is Mickey that takes down Doze. And now it is all up. All eyes on Climax, who once again trying to get those smoke bangs.
Explosives planted.
As the bomb does go down.
Yeah, they're looking good right now. Oh, Landon gets tagged. Landon versus Mickey. Obviously, London a bit easier for him right now. He just has to play the clock. Oh, there's the... He's come in.
The fake, and in the end it is London that takes map 2. 40 moOse, and now we'll move up to the all-important 3rd map. Very, very well played. I would definitely agree on that. Cluster is slightly defense-favoured. However, in the end, we just have to give it to moOse because they
play it well. I mean...
Playing it really, really well.
They picked up enough rounds on attack. They had to. That's something that we can't say about snipping this one here. 3rd map, I don't know yet what 3rd map is. As soon as I can see it on the server, I will let you know. Right now we're still on the old one. But first playoff match of the day. First to decide our map. Kind of shows this tournament and how everything goes here. Every team is capable of winning at least.
Definitely. I mean, there's not a lot of playing field between the teams. Let's just put it that way. Because on map 1, sniip looked crazy strong. We really have to put it that way. But then moOse on map 2, they instantly started with 3, incredibly quick rounds.
Yeah.
And then they had, I think it was a 5 or 6 round lead on the defense side already. And they didn't let it go until the very end.
Yeah, I think sniip picked up what, 3, 4 Isaac? 3.
I think it was 3 as well. Yeah, they picked up once again. I think it was 10 to 6, and then nah, I think it was 10 to 5, and then they went 10 to 8 or something like that. But in the end, it's moOse just played it really well.
Yeah, sniip never had that beginner role on defensive side. Like moOse started with 3-0.
Yeah, that's true.
Obviously helped, and then even with them trading, because we had a bit of back and forth, they were always moving forward. But sniip didn't have that when they started on the defensive side, and that just made it a bit harder. While we wait for our next map to come in, we're still on cluster right now on the server. There's a ton of matches happening. At least I can tell you.
If you just type !bracket right into the chat.
No, because that bracket is still.
That isn't updated yet.
No, it's the it's a different page.
Okay. Then just forget what I've just said.
That was the bracket for yesterday. So currently ongoing is Kollega versus Trent, the Panda versus TLR, sniip versus moOse, the one we're watching, and Quertz versus SK. Okay, so I decided Kollega, Vapanda, moOse, and Quertz. What about you?
I'm gonna go with Quertz as well, moOse. Then I just have to go with TLR because that's such a classic name. I'm literally only basing it off how they're called. Then I'm going for Trend as well.
Then you're going for Trend. All right.
So basically, the matches we're not quite agreeing upon are Kollega versus Trend and
Vapanda versus TLR. Yeah, let's see who gets more points then.
I'm definitely up for it. Another thing is we're definitely going to have an OG CoD4 map now because we've only got 2 maps that are not original CoD maps plus the extra patch 1.6 maps.
I can actually tell you it's Strike.
Oh my god, I absolutely love that map. I think it's it was when I played in the teams back then, it was by far my best map because I think it was a map that you could really, if you had a good scope in your team and you were a good AK player, you could just absolutely stomp people. Like, I really like Crash and I like Strike, but I don't know, Strike just has these sort of vibes, you know, you just use the bomb site to go up onto this ledge and then, you know, the Frag Movie song starts playing, you know. You hear a bit of trance music, the smokes go through and you just get the plus 15 wall bang. That's really what I'm hoping for.
I can tell you I lost Crash, but because that was always on the public servers, right?
Yeah, true.
Crash was always there, but I did not see it once yet. I know it was played in the tournament, but none of the broadcasted matches brought the Crash.
Crash has always been a map that teams hate. Sort of with Crossfire as well. Crossfire is like, you've got the teams that are like, oh my god, yeah, Crossfire, we're going to absolutely rock this map. And then you've got the teams that are like, ban Crossfire every single time, enter. And that's exactly what they're basically doing.
Crossfire we had twice.
I think Strike is really a map that everyone can agree on is probably... this is going to be... Some people are going to have a different opinion to this, but I think Strike is definitely the best CoD4 map ever made, in my opinion. Yeah, definitely. Also because it was in the original rotation, if I'm not wrong. I mean, we got 4 maps in the 1.6 patch, and I think Crash actually might have been. No, we got Winter Crash in the 1.6 patch.
Yeah. And I see a Chinatown best map.
Oh god, no! That maybe. I mean, that wasn't even played competitively. I mean, we can argue about Vacant because that was played in the very beginnings of. I think it was promo patch 1.0 to like 1.2, if I'm not wrong. But apart from that, I just Chinatown's a rubbish map. I think City Streets is really cool as well. Just has loads of opportunities. The map is quite open. But then you've also got... You don't like City Streets?
I don't like City Streets. As a player. It's like, watching it, fine. We had good matches there.
It was always a map that I lost on. However, I still like the map. Unless you get wall banged 1 second into the game, immediately just rush into market. That's really, really just frustrating in general. However, the thing is, you know, with Strike, you've got loads of opportunities to use movement as well, because I'm sure 99.99% of all the people in chat know this, but because because Call of Duty 4 is based on the Quake 3 engine, if you sort of hug a wall, you run slightly faster. And Strike has loads of opportunities to use that, especially on the attack side.
Why would you run a bit faster?
Because it's basically just a bug. Same with, strafe jumping. Why would anyone, jump further if you go at an angle? But basically, because it's all based on the Quake 3 engine, because it basically adds your rotational acceleration on towards your movement and
jumping
rotation.
That still doesn't explain the damn wall.
Yeah, the wall thing is just like a bug in the Quake 3 engine, I kid you not. And they just left it. Wow. Strafe jumping was a bug as well. They didn't intentionally... They didn't plan on, making strafe jumping a thing. However, it still remained to this very day. And the wall thing is just very, very funny because...
I mean, I know that when you come off specific surfaces, that it resets sprint. So that one.
Plus, you don't have sounds if you go onto pallet, for instance, on Crash. You can jump from the very top of the big building and no one can hear you.
Which is quite funny.
And Crash and Strike, they're both maps where you can really use that wall hugging to pick up extra speed. However, on Strike, your spawn isn't quite as important. On Crash, it was crazy important. If you got a really, really good spawn on SMG, on attack, you could just absolutely rush through with, no one actually being able to even answer your rush. However, on defense, on Crash, you also had the opportunity just to go for those absolutely sick scope shots at the very beginning of the match.
Third map decided on our very first playoff match, sniip versus moOse. Loser goes down to the loser bracket, obviously, facing German powerhouse. Winner moves on. So, who's it gonna be? So we have sniip on attack, moOse on defend. And once again I say that because I will say that every single day, defenders should be blue, attackers should be red. Just doesn't make any sense. But I also think it's quite confusing that attackers are the Marines. But it obviously makes more sense in the world of Call of Duty and their and the lore of the game. So
it is also really funny that on all of the professional maps, it is always up 4 versus Marines every single time. And the Marines, they're not playing against the baddies. It's not like special. They're just playing against the opposing forces, the up 4. That's it. We're not saying who the Marines are killing. However,
but it's the Marines planting bombs.
Yeah.
Which is obviously very anti-Counter-Strike. I don't even know what happened to my microphone. Just realized it was a bit low.
3 versus 3. However, someone's already on the bomb site. And this is where you have to be really, really careful as Eco just is trying to crawl his way into that bomb site. As Tid gets taken down by Zeko, Climax, who has to move in towards this target.
Explosives planted.
Who gets the better start here at Strike?
As both of them go down, in fact.
That was a bit quick in the end. So sniip takes round 1. sniip actually, they won Coastal. That was our very first map. moOse then beat sniip on Cluster. And now we're here on Strike for the decider map. None of the grenades find any targets.
Oh, exactly when you say it, you just get cast to
Why
coast.
did I say it?
That's how things go. And with that, Landon does go down as Climax, who takes down Mickey with the scope, evens out the playing fields once again. And Wilk actually rocking the Remington 700 now. I know it's called R700, but the R just stands for Remington. As they pick up the bomb, and now they could potentially actually rush to the bomb site, but it is Anzium That was already waiting, and now he takes down the bomb carrier. And with that, Trix and Paku are in a lot of trouble. However, Tid gets taken down by the deal of Trix. And with that, he could try to move up onto that bomb once again.
Yeah, they knew where Enzim was. Obviously, that was very good intel they got there when he tried to move.
The dress shirt guy's called Slogan, by the way.
No, I think they mean on the current
on the
current
thing.
screen.
Oh, yeah, that's
that?
true.
Wait, it's Snip Team, but I don't know who that is from Snip.
He was definitely one of those two that were still alive at the end of the round. So it could be either Paku or Trix, if I'm not wrong, or Zeko.
Someone says Zeko, yeah. Okay, could be. I don't know, but Zeko already died. Trix moving around to B.
That B long angle was just, historically speaking, it was a very, very dangerous spot to be in. Because you really don't have a lot of cover, and the enemies have plenty of opportunities to just take you off.
Yeah, very slow round all of a sudden. London gets Mickey with that blown up car at least.
And with that, moOse are in a perfect spot to pick up their first round. However, they still have to make it happen. A 3 versus 5 is a great situation to be in. However, it is definitely not a guarantee to make things happen as Landon takes down Paco. However, Trix with the return kill on towards Landon, and Wilk with the scope shot on towards Climax as Anzium's nade takes down Trix. However, Wilk with another frag. 1 versus 3. Can he make things happen? Gets tagged heavily as he's trying to make things happen at Palm Tree. And with that, it actually is a 1 versus 1. Can he make things happen? 1 versus 3. This would be absolutely massive. A 3rd round start for Snip. Takes a deagle hit. However, he's in a very, very comfortable spot right there. And those will have to move up sooner or later.
He's moving around the right side. He does not spot that just yet. I think he's looking. Oh, that was the intel that was needed. Finally be able to spot him and Wilk ends it.
Oh my god, 1 versus 3. And you can already hear the shouting. But I'm not sure if they can hear the shouting, but we can definitely hear the shouting. And that was absolutely massive by Wilk right there. Also, if we just, keep those mental edges in mind, get already 2-0 up, and then you get a 1v3 into the 3rd round.
Yeah.
That is absolutely massive.
Especially on this side of the map. Obviously, they want to make sure that moOse feels like this is not really their game, and they would be lucky if they win it. I think they're doing a good job so far. Landon picking up Zeko.
As the nade from Climax, who just finds another target. However, Trix is the one to pick up London, and now he also picks up the bomb. He could theoretically try to move on towards that bomb site instantly, however, Team moOse is already waiting and just trying to find those shots. As the scope shots just are rattling through.
Yeah, they will get the plant through, but we see that Climax, so Anzium Dose, they're all setting up now, coming from northeast. And there we go, the all-around statue. All 3 behind, but Trix gets the first kill onto Anzium, making it 2v2.
If they make this happen, this would be absolutely unbelievable. As Doze is just slowly trying to scope in. 20 seconds remaining.
Climax who gets Trix. That was strong, and they will get those. They will get Wilk as well. With that being able to defuse here for 3-1. Orslov says the throw is real.
I wouldn't call that throw, to be honest.
Yeah, we don't know how this one will end.
However, that really was a very, very important round that they picked up right there. Just, trying to stop Team Snip from sort of running away almost, one has to say.
And we'll see. I mean, they lost Zeko early here.
Oh, Zeko trying to go through all that rush. However, it's not quite working out for him. as the nades come through and just pick up 2 players of Team moOse. And with that, they could just try to pick up another round as well. Climaxu, you're in a lot of trouble as Zeko picks them up. 1 versus 4. No one's made it happen so far. We've had plenty of 1v3s already on the previous 2 maps.
I mean, Dills could make it happen. He just picked up the first to make it 3v1 instead. How much more power is left in his tank to run through this round?
Finds the Deagle onto Trix. 20 seconds remaining. Goes for the reloading again. Oh my god, he finds the next target. 1 versus 1. I cannot believe it. Is he really actually able to make that 1v4 happen? He has to find the next target, but it is Wilk with the Deagle.
Yeah,
that preemptively just takes him down.
Yeah, he decided for the wrong corner, obviously, but it's a 50-50 chance that moment.
Yeah.
Either look left or look right. Went for right. That wasn't correct. And unfortunately, that means they're losing another round, but impressive. I mean, that's a 4v1. And he had a real chance there in the end. I think even enough time still to get the bomb.
10 seconds remaining. He has to make things happen.
Yeah.
You know, he'd need 5 for the defuse. Let's just say a single second to get to the bomb as well. As Tid gets spotted now, he might be in a lot of trouble. People cornering up on him.
I'm sure it's 5. Well, it's like
Gets tagged. Finds Pack, however. Zeko's the one to retaliate that play.
Explosives planted.
Once again, Dose. I mean, it's same situation. 4v1 gets knifed. Zeko decides, hey man, not this time around. We're not looking bad next to you again. And so Lendon now calls a timeout for moOse. And we see that the team that you have on your screen on the right side, that is sniip. On the left side, that's Kvetz. I'm kind of surprised that they're not playing at the same time, but it could be because they're in the same room now. But I think normally this round should be parallel. And not...
Strike, at least back in my day, and I stopped playing Call of Duty Pro Mod competitively at the end of 2011. And back then, Strike was a very balanced map. At least it was considered to be quite even in terms of who's actually got the edge in terms of attack or defense. Basically, attackers have not got the easiest job to actually get on towards the bomb site. However, the bomb site is very, very well protected. You've basically got that double ledge that we saw Wilk trying to use. You know, where you've got these, I don't know, tiny... You know, you've got the roof and it stands on sort of pillars, and then you've got this sort of bottom row. That protects you from shots. However, if you prone on towards that ledge before it goes down to the bomb site, that protects you even more. And due to that, you're quite safe. You've also got the... we used to call them the bins. If I were to sort of translate that, I'm quite confident they're not called bins. Basically, you've got these 2 sort of baskets next to the bomb site, and they do really help you out to pull out quite a bit of extra time as well. Landon finds the opening frag on towards Zeko. Paco finds retaliation on towards him, though.
Now let's see if moOse actually can come back strong here from that timeout that they took. It's a far 4v3. Oh, that was Climaxu doing his job. Already ensured that A is covered.
Oh, finds another shot on towards Trix. That was very, very cheeky, and he did spot the next player.
Oh, yeah, there was a chance for a double, but it's that one. Mickey could have a chance now to find Climaxu, but... Are they trying to go B? Interesting.
Oh, Mickey could potentially spot his next target, and it's Climax who goes down. And with that, they could actually pull through with this plant.
I think I've never seen a B plant so far in this tournament.
B is very, very difficult to access because you've got a B house, which is, has the high ground effect and has loads of opportunities for you to find picks. Plus, B long is just a crazy open playing field. And with that, Mickey takes down Tid, and it is 6-1 for Team sniip. They're slowly but eventually running away from Team moOse so far. And at least for now, the timeout hasn't paid off.
No, not really, but obviously the question is also, is there something that you can change? Is it just a, you know, a mood thing, a head game, whatever it might be? Or is it really something that they can change with their rotation, maybe with the coverage?
Oh, and Zim finds a very heavy tag on towards Paco. However, the smoke comes through and Wilksnade finds Antium. And with another frag in the hands of Trix and Paco, it is another really, really quick round that Team sniip is able to pick up.
Yeah, a bit surprising. Thought there will be a slightly slower one here. But instead, get a lot of kills in a row. And we find sniip being up by 6 rounds now compared to moOse. Not quite sure if they can come back from that. I mean, we still have another half. That's it. But if this would end up 11-1, then it's be a very good half. As Tid and Landon both get kills in as an opener.
sniip, however, have got Trix on that B long side.
Yeah, but it's Trix on his own now, all of a sudden.
He's already done the 1v3. He's shown us that he is definitely capable of pulling through in these clutch situations. As he finds the tag onto what Climaxu, but in the end, the scope prevails and takes down Climax. And a very, very important round for Team moOse to pick up.
Yeah, they have to find a way now to at least stay closer. Even if they say, you know what, it's not our side, we'd rather play attack, you need to be close enough to still have a shot. And so far, with only 2 rounds, I wouldn't call that close enough.
Oh, Mickey actually finding a tag on towards Tid. However, it is Zeko that will take him down. Landon evens out the playing field once again, though, but it is still a 2 versus 4 situation. In fact, as Paco finds another pick on towards Landon. And now it is all up in the hands of Climaxo, and Doze has another nade by Wilk, and those nades he's pulling out at the later stages of the game, they're really popping off as Climaxo finds Paco.
I know I like it, their grenade play is really strong right now. That's how they sometimes get out of situations that look worse. But now 3v1, that's a chance for Climaxo to basically impress his chat once again. Can he do it? Someone pushing on the left side as well. No chance for him. Mickey picks up the kill. And with that, it's 8-2. Another 2 rounds to play on the side as another timeout is called by Doze. So they want to discuss this once more.
At some point, they have to... Right now, it really doesn't seem like individual skill. It seems like tactics. They're just not finding openings at all on towards the actual bomb sites themselves. I mean, they're the ones that have to defend, and it seems far too easy for sniip right now to find those openings.
If sometimes they manage to get sniip away from being able to rush that side, like especially A.
That's true,
right?
yeah.
So then it was looking a bit better. It seems like B they had under control. Problem is late nades. We saw that.
Yeah, and the late nades were
really
massive.
Good by sniip. They're doing a great job there, and it's always a threat kind of that moOse is not really calculating. It's like you saw that Doze just ran into it. They heard the grenade, boom, done. Right, only Climax left, and these stops for the actual rushes, they have been good early on.
Yeah, definitely.
But now sniip found a way somehow to, we saw that, tagging Tid while running over there through the smoke all the time. That really helps in settling them. Tid can't go into the position that he wanted to be in to actually defend the rush. And that just opens up the A side. Kind of, and we saw that, I wonder if it was Strike with moOse as well. I saw a Strike match where the defenders could not even leave B. So they were basically all setting up on B, nothing happened, and it was always A fully in the hand of the attacker. And that's kind of where we're going towards right now.
I mean, the most important part is basically whenever moOse are finding a single pick, sniip easily get 2 in return. They basically get like an AK or SMG pick, and then they've also got their late nades just absolutely come in massive.
It will be interesting if there's really a proper way for moOse to react. I mean, they picked up 2 rounds so far. There's another 2 to go. If they could get those 2, fine. We'll look good again. 8-4, that's something they can work with on the attacking side. But if this goes to 10 for sniip, we're seeing how even they normally happen on all the maps so far. We're spreading the route wins. That's only 3 to go for sniip. Will they be able to get 3 on defense? I think so, yes. So,
I mean, they definitely should be able to do that. Anything else would be kind of crazy. I reckon it would probably be 16 years. 15 and a half, 16 years.
what,
For Tid between his first LAN and this one. Tid was really, really good early on. He didn't join in 09 or 010 as some of the players did in the later stages. He was in... I'm not quite sure if he was in bottom batters. I'm not sure. However, I think he already played on, I think it was I-31 or I-31. So that would be late 2008, early 2009. So let's just say at least 15 years. And 15 years is a very, very long time. I mean, some of the players now, they've married, they've got a family, they've got kids. Things have definitely changed quite a fair bit from how they were in the past.
Yeah, sure. We all get older. There's no way around that. But the only thing that doesn't get older is Call of Duty. Call of Duty action's still the same. Still looks the same.
Still feels the same, and it still feels absolutely incredible.
Oh, there we go. That was the wrong button, Renee.
The third person looks fancy as well, especially in Frantic movies, has to be said. However, it is sniip that pick up an incredibly quick round once again. And now they're only potentially 4 rounds away.
Yeah, that does not look
from
good.
Taking the win in the quarterfinals.
Let's see if Tit actually makes it through onto A this time around. So they need that. They don't want them to be double digits already.
As the stop nades rain down on Tid once again. However, he does survive that entire ordeal.
They took London out. Enzium was nearly done for. Good position there for Tit, but could not really get the kill in. And that was crucial. Still gets it in the end, though, against Zeko. Oh, he basically ran into them.
He just went for the suicide, as it seems. Trix gets tagged up as well. 4 versus 3. 3 versus 3 situation as Climax takes down Will as well. This has to be one of those all-important rounds that moOse finally picks up, one could almost say.
Yeah, Doze gets Packers. It's only Mickey now left. And he is not in a great spot either.
I mean, really theoretically, he could make it towards the B side.
Yeah, but even there, look at the coverage that they currently have.
Oh my god, what an amazing shot on towards Doze. I know there's only a single player defending that B side. However, it is Enzium that takes the all-important round for Team moOse.
Yeah, not bad. So they at least got rid of the big going 2 digits, double digits on the side of the attackers, on the side of sniip. So they will be happy with that, although we still only talk about 4 rounds that they have to win.
I mean, they're still 6 rounds behind. You know, as a caster, you always try to make things, you know, a bit special and interesting and all of that. But let's just be honest, a 6-round lead is absolutely massive. It will be a lengthy ordeal for them to come back from this situation.
If they create their comeback, fair game, man. It's a 3rd map decider, and obviously we want this to go down to the wire. But on the other hand, sniip had been very, very good so far. We're playing around there. Tit is now out already. Landon is out. They've got both SMGs done. But finally, Enzium was able to answer for them.
However, sniip already all onto that bomb site. However, Climax who finds the headshot on towards Trix. And now he's just trying to go for those peaks, trying to fight the next target. Oh, misses the shot onto what was Wilk. That would have been absolutely amazing. And then in the end, it is Wilk and Mickey that take down the remaining team members of Team moOse.
Yeah, the double digits only took us another round, with now sniip being in a comfortable position, as that is a lot of rounds now they can use to work towards the goal of 13. This is a best of 3, Emma 12, while the loser bracket is playing Emma 15 best of 1.
But I was right then, that loser bracket is actually playing
it's that way.
a single map.
That's crazy.
That's plenty of pressure on you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's absolutely crazy. However, I do think best of 3s are still... You have to pop off early on, because if you lose the first map, you're always on this. If we lose the next one, we're done. We have to pull the 2-game lead.
Yeah, but not a lot of changes with the best of 5. I'm not a huge fan of best of 5s. I think that, or best of 7s, like...
yeah, I dislike best of 7s as well. But I think best of 5s do make sense if you're sort of in the later stages of the tournament. And we've got the best of 5 in the final today, later on. Oh, Anzim, you're being cheeky right there, trying to move in.
It's all of a sudden it's only tricks, and that's not looking good for sniip this time around. He doesn't even know where to go. Left, right, left, and in the end, it's Climaxu who picks up the last kill of the round, bringing up to 4 now. So at least deny the 11.
Yeah, today's the last day of this entire tournament.
Yeah, it's the playoffs. We just started. This is the first round of plays, the quarterfinals, winner bracket. Winner moves on and will face whoever wins the SK game, I think. Let me quickly look that up for you.
Oh, Landon, you're in a lot of trouble as Wilk finds another frag as well. However, Wilk actually dies to the full damage, was obviously heavily tagged. Perhaps by a scope shot from Climax, as Climax gets taken down as well. 1v4 situation, and Trix is the one to take down those as well. And only 2 rounds.
Whoever wins here faces Quartz or SK.
Oh, that is
and
massive.
Whoever loses faces a German powerhouse in the lower bracket round 1. Oh, London a bit too close to comfort, left to the car. Map score is 1-1. This is the decider on strike. We went to Coastal, we went to Cluster. So 2 non-classic maps. And now it is strike. It's the very last chance for both of these teams to stay with that basically additional life that they have in the winner bracket. Wilk gets Climaxu, so scope duel won by sniip.
Landon is in a lot of trouble though. He's trying to make things happen with the Deagle. Gets tagged heavily once again. As Doze actually, in fact, is able to take down Zico. However, it is Mickey that takes down another player.
They're already moving forward right now. That's the problem. Look, Doze is all the way back. They don't have the bump either.
Yeah, they just can't move up as Landon gets taken down as well. He's in a dire situation. He's trying to find a single opening, however, with just 25 seconds remaining on the clock. I don't really see an opening how he can even make it to the bomb site as Mickey takes out Doze as well as Landon. Mickey's really popping off in those last 5 or 6 rounds.
Yeah, he did. He's stepping up his game, and we see it 18 kills by Paco, Wilk 15, right? So these 2 are already stronger than Climaxu on the other side. And Mickey now on 11, doing a good job there. This is potentially the last round of our very first playoff match. I mean, moOse could still force them to overtime, but we're talking about 8 round wins in a row. Mickey picks up a double, picks up a triple. Does he get 4? That would be a bit crazy.
Oh, he actually got the tag onto Doze right there, pulls out the deal as well.
Yeah, but Doze back in.
That would be absolutely cheeky. Oh my god, in the end it is Zico. And with that, sniip take the win in the quarterfinal, not semi-final.
Yeah.
They're not there yet, has to be said.
No, sniip after taking map 1, losing to moOse, I think moOse was quite happy about the choice of going cluster.
Definitely, yeah.
But yeah, wasn't meant to be on strike. And with that, it will be sniip facing either Quetz or SK going forward. And then it will be German Powerhouse who has to go up against moOse in our very next match. And everyone going off for breakfast. That's a good choice, actually.
I'm really, really hungry as well.
Yeah, I didn't have breakfast either.
Yeah. I had to get up
really
early.
At 10, and then we started at 9. It's like, oh my goodness me. Let's quickly go there.
But you stayed here overnight, did you? Right?
Yeah, I got.
I mean, I had to get you and all of that. I got up at 6 o'clock.
40 minutes drive.
It was 45. Okay.
45. I got 4 hours.
And I had to get prepared as well. I mean, until yesterday evening, I couldn't even remember the names. In fact, to be honest, of the maps, I wasn't quite sure. Is that Crossfire? Is that District?
Oh, he got enough of us now. He wants to have back. Give him one of. Wait, there's a microphone right next to you. Yep.
We'll
that one, turn it on.
Turn that on, and hand that to you immediately.
I was just saying that there's a chat, you're live, you might not know the guys.
Oh, probably. Hello, everyone. That didn't go as planned, but we did our best. We took a map from the best team in the game at the moment. So
to be honest, that looked really good, but was it down to that weird map choice of cluster? Because I did not see it the entire first 2 days.
yeah, we were surprised as well when we took it, but we've been playing decent on it last couple of days, so we tried it. So 2 custom maps. The first one we are usually good at, but it didn't go as planned, so unlucky.
sniip did a good job. First map, I think they look dominant more than they have been on strike later on, to me at least. But you had your rounds. There's like on cluster, I think you were the dominant factor that turned it around. Why was it not happening on strike for you?
Strike has been a problem for us last couple of weeks. I don't know. We can't get in A, and we can't. I don't know, man. I really don't know. It's a hard map, and sniip is probably one of the best teams on the map. So it's very hard. Sometimes they don't nade, they save them. We get in A, they still peek us out, and sometimes they have like 5 nades. We die instantly, and it's hard. I can just peek the smokes and try to do something from that. It's very hard to retake.
We saw 4 or 5 rounds won basically by a late nade.
Yeah.
That managed to get them the upper hand. You got that match out of the way. You still took a map from them. That was good. You brought us our first decider map on the very first playoff match. So that is good for everyone out there watching. But now you get German Powerhouse in a BO1.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
What's the strategy there? It's like, which map are you hoping for? Or can you even tell? I know that band's still
Cluster.
Oh, you're going for cluster again?
We're going for cluster.
Okay.
But I doubt that you will get it.
We won't get it.
There's no way that they will leave cluster
There's
open.
no way. But I don't know. We'll see. Not strike, at least. Not strike.
So I think that's something we can definitely agree on.
You guys will ban strike. You will end up on crash.
We might. We might end up on crash, but we'll see. I need to speak with my team, and then we'll decide. And now I need to go back to them and see when we play, because maybe we have a game
Thanks
now.
for stopping by.
Yeah.
I come later.
All right, take care.
Thank you all, everyone.
We'll do that. Thanks a lot.
Just turn it off again. All right. As far as I know, we probably jump into a break and then into the next match, right? That is correct.
Exactly.
I will quickly see if we actually have an updated bracket. Yes, we do. So maybe we can have a quick look at that before sending everyone in a break. Because at least I have an update. Oh, someone found out that he can get closer. Oh, wait, this is different today. We are in a different position because his player model is way smaller than on day 1. I can tell you that.
Oh, okay. I mean,
now we can basically
I wasn't there at day 1,
them.
so I can say nothing about that one.
Let's take him down. Waiting for our bracket to come up. There we go. So, Kollega beats Trent, so I was right there. Vapanda vs Tila is not done yet, so there's a chance for you. sniip wins. I said that. And I said Quetz is winning against SK. So, if Vapanda wins against Tila...
We're even.
We're not even.
No, we're even, because I said Quetz was going to... but I went for moOse.
Yes, how can that be
but
even?
I mean, I'm a climax.
You went for Trent lost. You went for TLR. If Panda wins as well, that's 2 for me, none for you. And then you went moOse.
But I mean, Quetz, I can still turn things around in the semi-finals.
No, I'm just a way better prediction caster. That's it. It's like, that's my new... I'm a predictor.
Yeah,
You know, you can be
it
host,
seems
caster,
like you've
analyst,
got your
predict.
your magic 8-ball ready already.
All right, and then downstairs we see there's moOse versus German Power.